Hey everybody, welcome back to Theme Park Builds. So last episode I promised you a roller coaster, and before I get to that, I want to show you all the cleaning up I did off camera. First thing I did was move the park map to the front of the park like I wanted to, and someone built benches around. I don't actually know who did that though. Next, I extended the path down a bit, put the Ferris wheel where I wanted it, and then pathed up the bathrooms. And last but not least, there's a Minecraft head that looks identical to toilet paper, so I went to each of the bathroom stalls and exchanged the wool and item frame and button toilet paper with the Minecraft head, which looks way better. Also, Taper's Crazy, you may remember him from such Minecraft series like Medieval Build, also came on the server and he's practicing his builds further off. It's not in the park yet, but this is what he's working on. And also for Medieval Build, S-Man has come on the server and he's working on a jungle coaster in a different section of the park. Now that we're all caught up, it's time to start the roller coaster, and the first thing we need is the station. The two blocks that are going to make up most of this coaster are dark oak logs and spruce planks, and the reason why I'm picking these two is because they look the most washed out, and what that's going to do is make the roller coaster look older, and that's the look I want for this wooden roller coaster. I want it to look like it's been around a while, and these two logs will do that perfectly. Right here I realized I was building the station in the wrong direction, and me doing this ended up throwing me off a little bit, which you can see me just standing around trying to figure out what's going on. This cutout and path in the front of the station is going to be for the exit, and then the one you see me putting in the back right now is going to be where the queue line is going to come in. Next, I move on to the side of the station. For the roof, I had to get a little creative, because what I originally wanted to do was have a normal peaked roof for this thing. The problem is, though, later on you'll see that the track comes really close, and by really close I mean right to the edge of the station, and the roof would have been in the way of that. So I had to make a single slanted roof like this, and the problem with that was it was really tall on the one end and looked kind of dumb, so that's why I started using slabs to lower the angle a bit. With one side of the station done, I just copy and pasted it over to the other side. Only building half the roof, I was able to use the stack command to copy that section and then just stack it over on the other side. It's quicker than copying and pasting it, it saves a little more time, and you can thank Super Me for telling me about it because he was very annoyed that I was never using stack command. With the station done, it's finally time to get to building the coaster. Now I'm making the chain hill kind of realistic here. In Minecraft, 1 meter is equal to 1 block. And as you can see by the big wooden pillar there, I measured out 24 blocks, which is 24 meters. And now before all you coaster nuts start to yell at me saying, oh no, but the biggest roller coaster in the world is about 60 meters or something like that, this is where the look of the blocks come into it, like I mentioned before. I loosely, and I cannot stress this out enough, loosely modeled this roller coaster after one in Pennsylvania at the amusement park Knoebels called the Phoenix. The coaster was originally built in 1947, and at the time was the world's largest coaster. Really, the only other similarity between what I'm building and the actual coaster is the hills. It's a ride that's mostly focused on airtime, and not crazy twists and turns. And right here is where I was talking about the track getting really close to the station. With a peaked roof, the car wouldn't even make it down the track. You'd stop right at the roof. So I had to come up with something different, which is why I picked the roof design. Now, this part was such a pain. You see those two hills back there? Well, when I was selecting the region to stack it, I apparently did something wrong and messed it up by 1 block, which made the part I'm building now too close to the station, and I was trying to figure it out, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out where the problem was. It took forever to find out that it was all the way back there, so it pays to pay attention when you're building something like this. And after laying the last pieces of track, I was so happy I started dancing around, but then I realized I messed up the final turn into the station and had to fix it. With With the track all laid out and finished, it's time to start working on the queue line, and what I had to do was make kind of a little arched bridge to get over these tracks here. I wanted to try to make as much clearance as possible so it would look more realistic when you go under it and like you wouldn't smash your head on it. You still might, that's why you're supposed to keep all your limbs inside the vehicle at all times while it's moving though. And what I really wanted to do was bring the queue line back to the front of the coaster, and in order to do that, I had to put it under the roller coaster, which ends up looking pretty cool, I think. Wrapping up the basic design of the queue line, there's still some things that need touching up here and there, just like a lot of things on this roller coaster. The last main thing to do, though, is the supports, and I decided to do this off camera, mainly because it was mostly just me putting fence posts under the track that I had just laid out, other than having to go back over some track. But it took a very long time to do. Even with the stack tool, it felt like it took forever. So I decided to do that off camera, and here it is. Now I'm going to show you more cinematics of the entire roller coaster and explain what more needs to be put into it. But first, I know most of you probably really want to see what this thing's like when it's ridden, so here we go. And there you have it, the first roller coaster in the theme park is operational. Now the things that need to be done: 1, there needs to be an exit. I haven't gotten around to making that yet. The tunnel under the station needs some work. It looks pretty ugly. I'm gonna do some things with stone there to make that look better. There's still a little bit more work that needs to be done on the queue line to polish off some of that a bit. And also the scenery around it, the general kind of trees and bushes and that kind of stuff needs to be put in. The biggest thing though is this roller coaster still needs a name, and just like with Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, I'm going to let you guys comment and leave suggestions on the names, and I'm going to pick the one I think is the best, and I'm going to try making signs for the roller coasters too. Now they might be big, so try to pick small names, and then hopefully everything will work out in the end. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything for this episode. Everything I just mentioned will be taking place next episode. I will record that so you will see it all. But other than that, thank you all for watching. Leave a like and a favorite if you enjoyed. They help it a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time.